Remember when everyone would ask you when you were little, what do you want to be when you grow up? And now we're grown up and don't know what we're doing with our lives? Hi, my name is Madeline, and I am a college and career life coach. I help high school students, college students, and other young adults navigate the confusion that is life after graduation. Whether it's choosing your first career path or changing to a new career path, I am here to help you figure out what it is that you are doing with your life. So, welcome, get comfortable, and let's hang out together. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am so happy that you guys are here with me again. And I know I can't really see y'all, but I just know that we are like the best of friends, especially if you spend all this time listening to my voice. So, I have another question for us today to dive into. It is, how does one pick a happy and fulfilling career? That is like a burning question. Like, everyone wants to know the answer on how to build themselves a happy and fulfilling life, right? So, the first thing I'll say about that is figure out what that happy and fulfilling life looks like for you. I talked last week about some steps that you can take to help you narrow down your career options. So, make sure you go back and listen to that episode. It is titled, Why is it so tough to choose a career? I also made some shorter videos about it that you can find on my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook pages. But to go back over it briefly, I gave 3 steps to help you narrow down your career options. The first step to narrow down your options is understanding your interest. The second step is talking to people in the field, networking with people, getting to know what it's like to work in that field every day. And the third step is to set up shadowing. Again, I talk more in depth about that in the last episode and also on my social media. So if you want more information on that, go check those out. But on the topic of understanding your interest, unfortunately, sometimes interest in a specific career field isn't enough. For example, my best friend loves animals, like obsessed with animals, is so passionate about them, wanted to work with them. So she wanted to be a vet. And she went into college as a biology major in order to achieve that, but quickly realized in her first semester that biology and the science track in general was just not for her. Because, like, we got to be real. Those college science classes, especially when it's like a biology dominated major, like you got to take like OChem, you got to take um just for I don't know, OChem is just probably the worst class that I've ever heard of, but biology classes are not easy. Science classes in college are not easy. So, um she quickly realized that was not for her. She was not interested enough in becoming a vet to put up with that. But then she also realized, like, seeing animals in pain, having to put animals down, like, probably wouldn't sit well with her anyway. So, she changed majors. But it's safe to say that she has a passion for helping others, whether it's people or animals, and she's always had an interest in activism. Even though she couldn't get the education she needed to work with animals, in the way that she had planned, she became a criminal justice major, fell in love with it, and now loves her job working at a local courthouse where she is still finding a way to help others. So, her and I are similar on that level because no matter which career path I chose, the main theme was that I want to work with other people, I want to help other people. And I think she could probably say the same for her. So that's a question you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you're searching for? Are you looking to work with others and help others? Are you looking to not have the responsibility of other people in your hands? Just understand what it is that you want to do, like the main theme, I guess. What it is that you want to do with your career. Because maybe you want to help others, but you don't want to be responsible for their well being, but you want to help them as their personal accountant manage their finances. Like there's multiple avenues that you can take, some that are more serious, or I don't want to say serious, but like more life or death versus not as much life or death. If that makes sense. I hope it does. Another aspect to the question of what are you searching for is what are you looking to get out of that career? So, are you interested in work life balance where you don't have to spend over 40 hours a week working or commuting? Are you wanting to have time to do things outside of work? Or maybe you plan on moving away and you won't have any family or friends around, and you'd rather dedicate all your time to working and saving up as much money as possible. And as always, like that doesn't even have to be a long term situation, but these values that you are looking for that a job can bring you can change over time too. So you may find it suitable for you to travel while you're working. Like, for instance, if you're a nurse or somebody in healthcare and you want to travel because those travel jobs pay the big freaking bucks, dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So maybe you want to travel and rack up as much money as you can while you're young. And like for me, like I'm not married, I don't have children. So that could have been an option for me where I wanted to travel and rake in as much money as I could while I was young and had the ability to, with little to no responsibilities. And then afterwards, after a season of doing that, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, find a place to settle, whether it's back home where I'm from, around my family, or, wherever I felt the most at home at. This is just hypothetical, where I do want work life balance and don't want to spend over 40 hours a week working or commuting. So it's all up to you. And like I said, your desires are liable to change as you go throughout your life. But having those established deal breakers will play a big role in finding a career that is going to best suit you. So let's talk about the deal breakers because I feel like not a lot of people use that term. But a deal breaker is something you're either willing to put up with or not willing to put it up with in any situation. But I'm specifically talking about career deal breakers that you can have. So, mine, for example, I want a career that provides me with enough time outside of work to have healthy work life balance because all four of my grandparents are still alive. I'm very grateful for that. I want to spend as much time as I can with them. I cherish the rest of my family and we get together often. My cousin, who I'm close with, has three triplet, well, I guess three and triplets redundant, triplet 2 year olds that I have just been obsessed with watching them grow up. I have a godson that I would like to make more time for. I have a boyfriend that I would like to spend time with. I have close friends I would like to spend time with. I have hobbies and a house to clean and keep up. Like, I just have so many aspects of my life that are flourishing in a sense that I want to be able to tend to all those areas. And work life balance is so important for me because I don't live to work. I work to live. I've heard that before and I love that saying. My life does not revolve around work. I work so that I can pour into my life outside of work. So, with that being said, I don't want a job that requires me to work more than 40 hours a week. And I also don't want to have to commute very far. But I will say I didn't always know that this was a deal breaker of mine. And I actually had to end up working a job where these needs of mine weren't met for me to understand that I had those desires or those deal breakers in the first place. So it can definitely be hard, especially as a high school student, to understand what your deal breakers are right now. If you've never worked a full time job before, or you've been exposed to that kind of lifestyle and work culture. And that's okay though, because these change over time anyway. So while it may be hard to understand what those deal breakers are, just think about the perfect day in your life. You have the education already, you're working in the career that you want. What does that look like? Are you at the office all day? Do you work only a few hours a day? Are you helping people and surrounded by others? Or are you secluded behind a desk at home on your couch? Do you travel often? I mean, the list can go on as to what you want your ideal life to look like. Whatever your imagination can think of, I promise you it's attainable in some way, shape, or form. So don't be shy when you are dreaming about what your life should look like. So, what does your ideal day, week, month, or year look like in this job? Do you get time off? How well are you compensated? What's the workload like? What's life like when you leave work? And what would you have time for? You have to become clear on this so that you know what you're looking for. And from there, you can find a career field or a specific job that can meet your needs. Granted, like I said, like when I was in high school, I didn't know what my deal breakers were. I wasn't completely clear on what I wanted. Um, and while you don't have to have it all figured out, having an idea of one or two aspects of that career or that dream life and becoming clear on what it is that you want, maybe even if it's just one thing, even if it's that you don't want to work more than 40 hours a week. That's, check, super easy. Um Maybe you don't want to do physical labor. Check, add it to the list. And the more of those that you come up with, the easier it is to narrow down a career for yourself. Now, will a career always check all these boxes? Maybe not, but you just have to figure out which of those are the most important to you, because what you don't want to do is settle in a job that's not providing you any of those deal breakers that you're looking for, and then become unhappy and miserable and stuck somewhere that you don't want to be. So, what if no career sounds like it's going to be super fulfilling to you? I've said it, I feel like a million times, which I know it's not been a million, but I'm dramatic. I've said it a million times and I will say it over and over again. You can find a career that you don't mind, that you're able to tolerate in order to have your bills taken care of and your passions and hobbies outside of work funded. I constantly use my boyfriend as an example, and he's probably very tired of it, but I don't care. He works in construction, and that was never his dream. His dream is to play music, and he's a very talented drummer. And no, I'm not saying that because I'm biased. Like, he actually is a really good drummer. So his job allows him to pay his bills and fund all of his music projects outside of work so that he can play and record music with his bands. One day, I know his dream is to be a drummer for a big artist or a big band. And while he may not be pursuing that full time, he is making steps to get closer to that dream of his. So who knows? Maybe he won't be in construction forever and his band will blow up, or he'll find an artist that wants to bring him on as their drummer and go from there. I mean, you never know how life can play out. So to summarize that, like I said, if you're not finding anything super fulfilling, see if you can find something that sounds good and that you think you'll be good at, that you think you won't hate, so that you don't end up miserable while you're trying to make money. But also, if you're not getting your fulfillment in that job, it's okay because you're getting your fulfillment outside of work. One last thing I would like to say is be careful who all you take your career advice from. I know everyone means well, but not everyone's career advice may be helpful to you. Just remember, it's your career, it's your life. You're the one who's going to have to be living it and working it. So don't feel like you have to take all the advice that comes your way. Take what makes sense for you and what works for you, and leave what doesn't. And that even applies to me too. If I'm telling you something that you don't feel like is a good fit for your life, trust your gut. You know what's right for you and what's best for you at the end of the day. So if me or somebody else tells you something that you feel like is not the direction you want to take, then nobody's gonna. Well, I can't say nobody's gonna take offense. I won't take offense. I can't speak for everybody else, but just yeah, be picky with what all you listen to. If you would like a more in depth and personalized answer to this question, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on social media at Madeline Swan LLC across the board: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And you can also book a free call with me where we take 30 minutes to discuss your situation and figure out like a mini game plan that you can pursue. So I am here for you. I am always here to help. I'm always happy to help. I love serving you guys and getting you guys on the right path in your career journey. So, with that being said, thank you for being back here with me today. I love our time together. I am so grateful that you take the time to listen to me talk. I definitely in my mind feel like it's more of friends hanging out having a conversation than me just talking into a mic at you. So I hope you feel the same way. Um, but I will see you back here again next week. We're going to kind of expand more on that topic about the situation where no career sounds interesting. So I'll talk more about what you do when that happens. And I hope you have the best week. Stay safe and let's hang out again soon.